Alright, it's June 27, 2012, and I'm going to throw in my bid for the top 5 finds, and also top 5 pieces that I've made personally, or modern, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, let's go start over here. As you can see, number 5 is the smallest one I've ever found. Found that. And all these you're going to see, you've seen before, except maybe one. But this one was found totally by accident. I've been down to pick up a flake. I was with my buddy Seth and my son. And I seen that little tail sticking out from underneath the rock, just like that. And I knew what it was and flipped over the rock. Sure enough, a very cool piece. And I wish you could see the flaking on it. It's just not going to happen in this camera. Very, very fine overshots, or whatever you call it. That's what it looks like. But anyway, that's number 5. Number 4 would be a piece that I found on the same camp with Seth, my buddy Seth, another friend of mine, Kevin, and Seth's 2 little boys. It was pretty exciting. He was just laying there, just laying out. Still got the pine pitch on it, on that one ear. I mean, it's like it was just made and just left. It'd be cool to find the handle for it. I'm sure it was a knife, just for the fact that edges work so fine and so sharp. Kind of looks like a knife to me. But that's number 4. The flaking is just pretty killer on it too. There's a good shot of the pine pitch on it. But let's see here. Number 3 would be this Snyder's. It's not the prettiest one I've ever seen, but it is pretty neat. I had my kids at the creek. It was hot. They were playing in the water. They wanted to go swimming, so old Dad took them. I went looking and took about 5 steps and looked down, and it's just laying there in the bottom of the creek in the clear water, just shining like a diamond. Got some pretty cool flaking in it too. Yellows. It's yellow and white, kind of a cream color. I found that right in front of my kids. They were just standing there looking at me like they couldn't believe what their dad just did. So that one's pretty cool to me, just for the memory of my kids being there. And then this one was probably the newest of the bunch. It's not pretty at all, obviously. But there's a story behind this one. I made a video of this not too long ago. And I said I found this on a creek when I looked at a house and went walking the creek. Well, it's all true, but there's more to the story. The creek that I was walking that day, after I went and looked at the house, was the creek that my father was killed on during deer season back in 1973. He got accidentally shot, and that's where he died at. And I had never been back there. I've never been there. And I had my mother with me that day, and she wanted to take me there and show me. And I got there and got to looking around. I was like, man, this is a good spot, you know. And I looked down. I wasn't 5 feet from the car, guys. And I'm not kidding you. And I looked down, and I seen just about, you know, just a little piece of gray like that sticking up out of the dirt. And I was like, no. And I flicked it out, and it come rolling out of the hill, out of the bank, just like that. And so, you know, as corny as that may sound, that piece holds a special place in my heart, just for the fact of where it was and how it was found. And it's like it was meant to be. I walked right to it. And like I said, it's not the prettiest one, but it may be one of the most important ones to me, for obvious reasons. It's a long story behind it, like I said, but that's, you know, the stories is what makes it memorable. It's got some pretty good flaking in it too. Anyway, that's number 2. And of course, number 1 is going to have to be the number 1. This is the one that started it all. This is the background on my YouTube page. This is the one that started it all. And I tell you what, if you could find something like that every time you go out, it would be just a beautiful day. But I had never really looked for arrowheads in my life. Well, I mean, I'd seen them and stuff as a kid, but never really paid much attention. I was with my boy fishing. We went to go find a good crappie hole, and you've all heard the story before. Looked down, and there it was, laying in a sandbar about a foot under the water. I thought it was a leaf at first, and then I was like, no, it don't look quite like a leaf. And then I said, boy, reach down there and grab that. Well, he reached down there and touched it, and it started sliding down the bank away from us. Well, about that time, he realized what it was too, and kind of dove in after it, and pulled it out of there, and we were just both in disbelief. We couldn't believe what we just found. And so it's meaningful because it's my first one. It's meaningful because me and my boy found it together, purely by accident again. Sorry about the horn, guys. It's a church bus. But phenomenal flaking. Just as straight as can be. Perfect tip. Perfect base. Bifurcated, obviously. I believe it's a hempill, Osceola hempill type. I'm not totally sure. But whatever it is, it's old and it's perfect. But that's the one that started it all. So that has to be my number one. Without a doubt, I would think. I don't know if I'm moving it too much. I don't know if you guys can get a good view of it. I hope you are. About 3 inches long, about 1.5 inches wide at the base. Just a beautiful, beautiful work piece. If that don't get you started arrowhead hunting, I don't know what would. Alright, moving on. Now for the top 5 self-made pieces, I guess, or not self-made, but modern made by me. I napped these out. I'm a learning flint napper. I'm learning as I go. These are not the prettiest by any means, by any standards. I like them just because of how I, got them figured out and got them worked down. So here we go. I guess I'll start this in. Number 1, big old ugly thing, but the stone in it is just the prettiest thing. It's like I said, it's not the best arrowhead. I broke it right across. I don't know if you can see it on here now, but right across there, I broke it, re-glued it, and then finished it. So that, I guess that's impressive in itself. The really cool part about it is that right there. It's just so neat how that stone had all that character in it. It's a beautiful rock. But that's probably number 5. Number 4 would be this dovetail looking thing. A little fat in the middle, tapered good. This is the actual usable tip if you wanted to use it. It's got a couple little hinge breaks, slight stack right there, but I like the way it turned out. It was a very hard stone. I don't know what that stone is, but it is very, very hard. So I was excited to get that good of a piece out of it. Let's see. Number 3, I guess, would have to be this one. Good thin piece, tapered well. I'm not really happy with that ridge right there, but I quit while the quitting was good, I guess. But it turned out not too bad. A little bit of a stack, or good, well, I guess that's what you call it right there. But this, a good stone to work. Found that stone, same place I found that arrowhead there, at my dad's creek. That's why I call it my dad's creek. But that's probably number 3. Number 4, let's see, no, number 2 would probably be this one. I got my thinning figured out, figured out what a braiding was all about. Don't know what style you would call that. Graham Cave-ish maybe, I don't know. Not quite. Just a real cool arrowhead, the way it looks. The way it feels real. Got some pretty cool little black specks in it. Like I said, guys, these are just me learning. So I know there's better out there. I've seen them. That's what makes me want to get better. But number one, I guess, would have to be this one. And this is probably closest to a Graham Cave that I've done. Very thin. By my standards anyway, it's thin. I've seen thinner. But the flaking in it was awesome. Got a little bit of a bevel there on that ear, but that's okay by me. Kind of bevels the other way on the other one. Very thin. Pretty symmetrical. The flaking in it, I don't know if you can see, is pretty good. Not bad. For a guy that don't know what he's doing. Like I said, I'm just learning as I go. But anyway, I guess that'd be my number one build of the day, so as to date. I think they'll get better as I go. They seem to be. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and hope everybody's having good luck. I know I haven't been on here in a long time. It's just been hard to get out and do anything here lately, but the weather's got me beat right now, but we're going to get back to it. And here's my top 5 finds of my life so far, to date, to be continued. Y'all have a good day, and good luck to y'all.